Hey guys, this is Mr. V. I'm over here today to do a book review for Everything's Eventual, the novella by Stephen King. Again, I need to reiterate that I am reviewing Everything's Eventual, but it is the novella, not the full-on novel. If you want to see my book review for the novel, just go to my videos and it will be there. Something you guys should know before I start the review is I give a spoiler-free book review to where that's why if you occasionally see me looking down, it's just I'm looking at some notes so I don't give away any spoilers. But let's start the book. So I thought this was, a very fun story. I can't really say much about the story without giving away spoilers. The best I could do is just basically the main character, Dinky. He has a special ability, and a corporation wants to hire him. And that's about as much as I can give away. And if you guys read the novella, you guys will see more about it. But I thought that this was a very fun novella. The reason I say that is because Stephen King portrays, like, he shows the persona of Dinky very well. Because Stephen King surprisingly does not show or does not describe what Dinky looks like, which is kind of odd. He normally describes the characters very well, and he doesn't do it in this story. But what he does great is he gives a persona of who Dinky is. Basically, Dinky's a 19-year-old kid with little to no ambition. He's a pizza delivery boy, but has no ambition to move up at all, take on management, anything like that. He just wants to collect his money, go home and watch TV, and kind of just hang out with friends, things like that. And Stephen King does a good job of showing who Dinky is, and that's why, even though he doesn't really describe the appearance, you kind of know the kind of person Dinky is, and that's what's fun, because he did set the tone very well. And something that's fun is that he leaves it pretty mysterious. Like, it's a pretty mysterious story, but in a very fun way. Like, you find out little bits and pieces about the past as the story progresses. And what I mean by that is that, like, at one point Dinky was thinking about someone he knew. I forget the character's name. It starts with an S. I'll just call him S. But basically, he's like, at one point in the beginning of the novella, he's like, oh, did this person find out about S? And then I thought I had missed somebody, or I thought I had overlooked it, to where I went back to the beginning and started reading again because I couldn't find anything of it. And I read right back to the point I was at, and then I realized, I think, or that it was meant to be mysterious. That was not an accident. It was meant to be mysterious, and he does that throughout the entire novella and the entire story. So that's fun. That it's because you also don't know fully what direction it's going to be going. I mean, you have a general idea, but you still don't fully know. It's like, what direction is this going to be going? What will happen? And that adds a lot of fun to it. And I really enjoyed that aspect about it. He covers a lot of emotional topics in this, in that, like, the types of emotions that humans go through, and like some of the stuff like that I can think of, and because it makes you think a lot, is like, it's like what people are willing to do: regret, greed, depression, helplessness, waste. It makes you, like, he goes through some of that. Even though it's just brief, this novella is not too long, but it's like, even though it's just a brief thing, it's like he talks about some of these things, and it's pretty crazy, and it's really cool. I really like that element. And I said he doesn't talk about it long because it's not too long, and that's another part that I felt he did really well in this book, or novella, sorry, was that he kept it a good length. Sometimes he can over expand on things, or there's been books that I've read of his that I'm like, he should have cut it off at like 20 pages before, type of thing. And there's some books where I'm like, okay, he could have gone on a little longer. There's a possibility he could have gone on a little longer here, but I actually think he cut it off at like a really good length. So that's always a plus in my book, that he didn't go over, but he didn't like underdo it either. He didn't make you like wonder, like, okay, you didn't answer everything. So that's why I thought it was a good length, and it led, what I just said led right into my next one, is that I felt it had a good end. because he didn't make you wonder like, okay, what's gonna happen for this or that, you know. So it had a good end, and the end. What's really cool about it is that it does make you think about your own life, and in like a cool way, in a nice way, and it still makes you wonder. There's this mysterious aspect of it, and it still makes you like reflect on your own life. So that's really cool. But overall, I thought this was a very good novella, and I'm gonna rate it right now. I always do my ratings on a scale of 0 to 10. A 0 is an awful book, a 5 is average, and a 10 is phenomenal book. Like, that should be your next read if it gets that high. So again, 0 awful, 5 average, 10 is phenomenal. Very few make it to the 0 category, just as very few make it to the 10 category, because I'm a pretty tough critic. So even moving up 0.5 is difficult in my rating system. But what I would do is, don't forget, 5's average. So for this novella, Everything's Eventual, I would rate this a 6.5, and it'd be a solid 6.5, just because I felt he kept it moving, he kept you entertained the whole time, good length, good end, there weren't too many negatives, so that's why I would rate this a solid 6.5. And this is, again, for Everything's Eventual, the novella. I would rate that one a 6.5. If you guys have any comments, please comment below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button. This is Mr. V. Thank you for watching my book review. I hope you guys go and enjoy your reading.